So I saw it too in the idea of fashion. Like one of the most used hashtags today, for instance, is "What am I wearing today?" or something like that. What is my outfit? You know? And then if you see what happens in fashion, it's like that's the greatest repetition ever right now. Like it really doesn't matter what you're wearing. It's always modern right now because it's all retro or it is this or that. It really doesn't matter anymore. So it's like we're done with that. That's done. So, and look at all the other ideas, like whether you drive an old car or a new car. Like an old car is just as fashionable as a new car. Like, you know, all this comes to an end. And today I'd like, well, we really come to an end altogether. It's like, okay, we can all become now, say, fundamental Muslims or something. Yeah, that would be different a little bit, but actually it's the same. We know that story very well too. It's very chewed out. It's very old. So that's a bit the feeling I got today is like, wow, this place is so old, it's so done. And of course it's my dream coming to an end. It's like, what is the challenge? What is really inviting me for something new that is this moment, but nothing else? You know, and sharing the truth about myself. Yes, absolutely. Joining with my brothers. Absolutely. That's it. You know, I want to see the place for what it is. That's what I know. I want to see it for what it is. If I see that completely, then it's gone because I probably will not value it at all. And it will just disappear. So now how much it will change or how dramatic the shift will be, it will still be over. So I actually get excited by the idea that this place is over. If I see it for what it is, it just stops existing. I will not see it. It will just be, whoosh, that was it. And I don't even remember it again. I will not remember this place. Why would I? Yeah. Well, whatever is being provided by what I come to know is a place of stillness and like being part of creation. Being in direct communication altogether sounds very appealing to me. And I see more and more of it because actually that's the only thing that already exists. So, yeah, it's more like, okay, still, if I don't value anything else, it will show me the other part of it. Like today I read in, this is one book that I've been recording is like psychotherapy. It's part 5 of the Urtext. Psychotherapy. So what it says is like, at least one part is what it says is, ears were not made to hear and eyes were not made to see. They were not made for it. So you perceive what you want to perceive to make you feel comfortable here. And it doesn't really work. And the same with what you hear. It's just like, no. So the direct communication is actually the communication that you can feel with your heart, like with your whole being, what shakes you up because you heard something. That is what communication is. See, the rest, facts and images is just, yeah, it is of a very superficial level. So if you come in touch with something that is really communicating with you, it will shake all of you. You know, it will will move you. If that doesn't happen, then it's like that was a superficial thought. You know? So that's why practicing what we're doing, practicing the holy instant, in fact, like allowing ourselves to be so open in the moment that you actually can be shocked by love, so to speak, like coming into a direct experience of communication together, seeing that our minds are joined and that there's no difference at all, that there's no need to defend yourself at all, is basically the opportunity to have a deep experience of there's something else, you know, that I'm not going to define. So that is, how do you teach that? I have no idea. No. So I don't need to know either. So it's going to be demonstrated through me if I open myself up to that. And I actually start to see that is happening in you. Like you are presenting the Christ to me. Yeah. If I allow myself to connect with that, then we have a holy instant. Are we in the same dream? No, definitely not.
No, but we're in the dream together.
Yeah, no, so we see each other now in this part that we share, right? But I'm not completely in your dream. So it's the easiest to come to recognizing this and seeing this as your personal, individual experience of yourself. Like you could see it as that we are shadow figures in your dream. But there's nothing outside of you, so we're all included in that. Now, okay, now you lost me and I lost you already, maybe. See, the next thing is when you come to an experience of your true self, so to speak, if you come into an experience of oneness, you'll see that everyone is included because there literally is nobody outside of you. So then you recognize that, oh my God, we're actually communicating as one. It is a shared communication. Like you cannot wake up alone. It's a shared experience. But there's nobody outside of you. It is more like in your sharing, you see that we're all one. That doesn't mean that we're separate entities. We are all one. So that's about as close as I can get to it. So it's like a singular, subjective experience. It's like of reality. You will have your own experience of reality. And that's very individual. You coming to the experience of being completely connected with everyone and everything. See, as soon as you say, that's the same as a drop in the ocean, a drop of water in the ocean. The drop of water is not separate anymore when he drops into the ocean. So, but he's still this drop in the ocean. Don't worry about it. So heaven on earth. That's what you were asking for, like heaven on earth. How is that supposed to happen then? So in your new experience of yourself, by not seeing the things with your eyes, by not hearing the things with your ears, but opening yourself up to the direct communication that is there, it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what you see, but nothing will disturb your peace because of your state of mind. It doesn't mean that the world changed. No, you changed completely by allowing that to be your reality. So this is your heaven on earth. It's a state of being. There's no conflict. There's no, you don't react as you did as a human being. You're not seeing the things as you saw as a human being. You don't see yourself as who you thought you were. But all that has changed into like a universal experience of yourself. In that sense, it's like you actually feel that you're not located anymore, but that you're everywhere all the time. You're not located anymore. You don't do time and space. And that's a very joyous happening, because then you don't have to be concerned with that. You don't have to react. You just only receive the confirmation of your totality. If that isn't peace of mind, I don't know what is. Yeah, absolutely. So up to that moments, like I think it might even be in this little chapter. It's like that part is not our concern right now. See, this is why you come to the idea of curriculum. Like there's a learning trajectory. There's a learning curve. There's a learning moment for you. So now the focus is on miracles. And miracles are then the moments in which you can actually come to an holy instant with your brother, recognizing that this place isn't real, that you actually are communicating as one. But that's just an instant. A miracle is a moment of realization, a moment of remembering, a moment of, say, true connection, of having a real relationship for a moment with your brother, remembering your common source. So that is our focus right now. So everything I'm using in the text is based on that idea. That's why the Course in Miracles came to, it's literally like this is your guidebook to get out of the construct that you made yourself to confirm that you were separate. So now we do it the other way around. This is your way out book. Like this is, if you follow these directions, it literally leads you out of the labyrinth that you made for yourself to get stuck in it. This will help you out by seeing that there is no labyrinth. You're not separate. No, you're whole and perfect. Well, we carefully designed this for ourselves. And there's a lot of resistance to it because we're afraid. We're afraid that maybe God is angry at us for doing so, or whatever the deep-rooted feeling is. Like there are certain attractions that you have that you don't want to let go of immediately. You value the body for what it is. You say are attracted to the idea of death. You were used to, like, that was your way out as a human being. It's finally your way out of this place. So you have an attraction to that. And you have a certain attraction to guilt. It is appealing. It is appealing in a certain sense, because in this whole story that you got yourself into as being a separate entity, it is like your guilt is like, say, keeping you in your isolation up to the point that you want to give it up and see like, oh no, there's no such thing as guilt. I don't believe that anymore about myself. But it has had a long history of attraction to you. That's why it is so. So, and then because of your confusion in that, like when I say you, I mean everyone waking up, because of your confusion for a long time now, you're not sure if what is being presented by, for instance, this course, if that's going to be more desirable than what you know, even though that is a limitation and terror and disaster and death and lack and all that. But at least you know what you have.
That's true.
Yeah. So, yeah, these are like basic things that are preventing you from having a full-blown experience of direct communication with God. And it's crazy. So you'll have to come to the point that you think like, well, what I think is totally insane and I cannot live by that anymore this way. There has to be another way. I really would love to get in touch with that. So I think we all said that. We all came to that point. It's like, yeah, I see clearly that what I was thinking about myself is totally insane. If there is such a thing as a loving God, I would love to experience that. If there's such thing as like the totality of my being, I wanna know what that is. Yeah, so these things are part of part of it. Essential parts of it. So that's why give yourself time to do this, because like the awakening might look as if it takes time, but it actually does not. That's the thing. So once you're on this path, it seems to take time, but actually it does not. You'll see it when you wake up. You see like, oh my God, it's collapsing altogether. Like in eternity, there is no time. In timelessness is no time. In your totality has nothing to do with time. That was also part of the construct. So that also means that your say judgment of yourself, or your evaluation of yourself in terms of I'm too slow, I'm too I will never get this, is all like based on an idea that is not right. So it is not very helpful. So you better say like, there's a perfect plan. I don't know what it is, but it's working. Like Deb gave her declaration in the start of this class, like whatever it is, it's working. You know, yeah, one way or another, it's working. I wake up in the morning, I don't feel this and that. So that's a start, you know, that's great. So we just continue on and see what happens. See, the great thing is that, and that I think that all four of us are doing this, is like being open to joining. You know, it's like, no, we need that. We discovered we actually need that. Not necessarily that we have to see each other, but we're connected and we are aware of that and using that as a speed up for this process. See, now you can ask me questions, or now you can express yourself. And that's exactly what I needed to hear today. You know, for the contact with you, for our connectedness, for just accepting where we find ourselves, in fact also for the joy to celebrate just that we come together with one purpose. That's very powerful. That is what healing is, in fact, that you join together in one purpose. Yeah. So when it comes down to the agreement to join, we do this, you know, agreement to join. We're not joining in the ideas of sickness or limitation. No, we're joining in our one purpose. And leave the rest for what it is, like not paying attention to whatever occupies our minds, but now leaving that for a moment, giving that a rest, and opening ourselves up for a deeper experience of this pure communication. So yeah. Yeah, that's great.
So.
No, but you can experience it. Like what I want to say is this as an example. It's like the moment that some artist or someone is passing on. Like the moment that he passes on, the day after, like you hear the music of this guy, like he's fully alive and he's completely there. Like what I mean to say is like, where can anyone go? Like where can you go if you pass on? Where can you go? You have nowhere to go. Where is this happening? It's all happening in your mind. It is not happening anywhere else. Like you can think that your grandma is gone, but you can connect with her immediately because you always did. She's not gone. She's not in physical form, okay, But yeah. See, it's good to be careful with this in the sense that when somebody passes on that you're very much emotionally related to, it is good to go through the whole process of grieving, because that's like literally an undoing of the connection that you had built up, say, as memories in your body, or however you want to call it. So it's like, I will never discourage that, but always say, like, take time to let these memories being undone, because then they are free in you, you know. Then you, if you need to cry for that, you cry for that. If you are angry for that, you are angry for that. Let all these feelings come up and let them free, let them go, let that all happen. So this is good to be reminded of, so that you don't negate the feelings that you have according to a certain loss of someone, you know, because otherwise you get really, say, you're on a mental plane very active, trying to suppress your feelings and saying, look, well, that's not real. That's not going to happen, or that's not going to work either. So that's why I always take that into, is like, don't forget to feel what you feel, because if somebody goes, like, and allow those tears to come up, and allow yourself to go through this process. It's not that they're gone, so there will be somewhere. Like, not that you have to dig for it, but they will come up, you know. If you see it as, in the release is where the healing is, and you need to release those emotions. Like, an essential part in the awakening too is the emotional release of the memories in your body, you know, the memories that you store, and they will come up by themselves, so you don't have to force it. But something can trigger it, or suddenly when you are in, I don't know, it's like a stage, at least where I was in very intensely. It's like, okay, on a daily basis I could cry like a long time, no problem, and it felt so good to do that. Like, I got it all out, you know. It's like, it was such a great release. So it was really part of the work that I had to do to come to the bottom of that, you know. Yeah, it's very nice to not hold back in terms of emotionally expressing yourself, when it comes to expressing love, and when it comes to expressing your feelings of sadness or whatever. It's like, well, let it out, let it stream, let it flow. That's if I get a chance, I'll certainly use it, because once you start releasing, there's always more. So it will, like, okay, let it all roll out. Well, this can go too, and that and that and that can go too. Now I don't have to hold back anymore. I don't have to defend myself and behave in a certain way. So that's also like a sense of freedom that's connected to that. So who knows what's maybe that's going to change. Who knows? It might be really nice to give your heart some space, or some release, some air, some breathing. Yeah. Okay, so we can do a little music, and then I'll come back to what I assigned for today. Oh yeah, this one is what I wanted to. Let me see. Yeah, this is nice too. Yeah, so if you relate it to the body, because that's really nice to do it that way, is like, if you see that you're just like a genetic memory walking around, like you have a whole package of genetic memory that you carry with you in this body. You know, so when this body stops functioning and you lay it off, so to speak, then you're also free of these memories coming back to you, and memories, and say carrying this vibration with you. That is for sure the greatest release, you know, because you don't have to do anything with that anymore. So because it's the responses that you have are very much related to the genetics that you carry with you, and they're not fixed, but they're certainly memories, like way old memories, unbelievably old. In fact, you know, it's like they they did some research, of course, and you see, like, okay, you get your reptile brain, you get your, you know, it's like the back is your reptile, then your animal brain, and there's a bit of a frontal lobe who corrects everything into a human idea, for instance, that. But so the memories are like connected to your genetics. This is also why you feel that you have a great affection with a certain place. You know, you might feel yourself much happier, much more at home in Germany than in the US or who knows where. Like, you have a certain genetic reference based on the history of your genetics, in fact. Whether you ever lived there or not, you can still have that memory. So that's always something like, and when this is done, like when you don't have to use this anymore, in that sense, your body, when you don't have any ideas about it anymore, and you lay it off, so to speak, your earthly journey is over, then you're free of those memories. Incredible. So when you don't have to wait for that. You can escape, so to speak, you can escape the limitation of your genetic memory. This is basically what we call a miracle, to escape, like a vertical communication, or shift into vertical perception, having a moment, experiencing a moment of say, timelessness together. Then you're suddenly, for a moment, free of it, and see how perfect everything is. Well, you don't feel that if you're completely in your body, because, you feel things. You have memories. You have ideas that you carry with you. You have a certain solidity that you take with you when you go on a little adventure. You have certain limitations that are defined by this little vehicle. Well, because you still have an idea about this, you know? So it's like you cannot escape here just by letting the body go. No, you will have to see this for what it is. Like, if you don't have any ideas about it, it will just, disappear in that sense. So, and that's why, say, astral going somewhere and coming back into your body, seeing yourself laying down there, you can practice that as a nice hobby for a while, but it's not going to bring you anything. So the last thing you want to do is go use this body as a vehicle for your awakening, and seeing that these memories need to be converted. So which is really like the transfiguration, or the reassociation with your true self. Like, that is what goes right through this. That's why this is so incredibly physical. And that's why this is connected to physicality. How that works? Well, see, if you stay in your mental realm, so to speak, and keep reading the books and all the healing talks and whatever, listening to it, and just letting that circulate here, more or less, then there's not much activated except your mental sphere. So when you start to really get into your body too at the same time, and let this light come into you, then by activating your cells will be activated. Same with the music and light and love. Like, it is easier for you in an maybe I do it the other way around. It's like the most difficult thing for you is to sit still and meditate, or to sit still and let the light come in. Like, it's much easier to move around a little bit, because you are energy, you are movement. There's a flow of energy through your system. So when and also you can feel your feet. So if you see it in terms of letting that energy sink deeper into your system, into your body, that you also feel your connection with this planet, with Earth, with this solidity, then you also will feel that the experiences become much more complete, like they become warm, instead of just going out in your mind, going somewhere and coming back, or stuff like that. It's like I was a real star in spacing out in my mind. I could really easily do that. But it didn't bring me anything, except, I really thought something was happening. But when I came more and more in my body and did also physical work and heavy work and really, doing that, then you see that how everything becomes included into it. Like you literally use this vehicle to give yourself away, to give energy, to put your passion in it. Like, that's a pretty easy with using your body. You can dance passionately easily. That's not so difficult. But to let that same passion come up by just sitting still would be an incredible exercise. So make yourself easier to come into your body literally by exercising, or by moving around, by taking a walk, by throwing a ball or dancing or whatever it is, and then do your little meditation, or the other way around. So the cells get activated and feel healthy, drinking enough, so that it's basically, this is what someone ever told me, is like, I love that idea too, it's like burning up your old ideas. That's basically what you do. So we come together in this light of communication that does something with your body. So if you at the same time activate your body, then that has an incredible effect on everything, and you feel alive and you feel vital, and which is great. So that connection is easily made. I know for this I did these little art projects in which I was like ripping paper apart and cardboard. That was for me the greatest undoing. It's like that's a real mystical act that I actually did there. That felt so much as my ego is being ripped apart, and it felt so good to be active like that. Also, the energy that it generated for me, doing that, like having that as an activity, so it's unbelievable. So very simple things, but and easily to do on any kind of level of activity, or level of how much energy you want to put in it. You can do it on a small scale, on a big scale, whatever you like. And that's not where it's about. But give it the attention of, it just feels really good to do so. And you can put it together. If you want to make a little mosaic, you do it. Like this is what I did with the ripping the paper apart. Exactly. If you have still an attic upstairs full of stuff that you didn't touch for 20 years, then take a look at it and clean it up. That can really be helpful too. The same as books that you didn't touch anymore, it's like for a long time. You don't read it? Okay, well, you don't need it. Just, I did it for a long time. Like, okay, everything that I don't touch for a year or so, I'll definitely throw it out, because I have no need of it anymore. And of course, the most thing that I most treasure the most, I will give away too. So look around in your room, and it's like, okay, which are you the most connected to? Okay, give it away. So this can all help you out. So it's more like an activity on your path. You do it. It's not the main course, but it can really be helpful. Yeah. So also with the body activation, like absolutely. Yeah, it's great. Thank you. That's great. This is nice to come together like this too. It's really all right. So I feel like reading something to this is really beautiful. I think I put this online too on the website, but anyway, and this is to conclude today. This world is full of miracles. They stand in silence next to every dream of pain and suffering, of sin and guilt. They are the dream's alternative, the choice to be the dreamer rather than deny the active role in making up the dream. They are the glad effects of taking back the consequence of sickness to its cause. The body is released because the mind acknowledges this is not done to me, but I am doing this, and thus the mind is free to make another choice instead. Beginning here, salvation will proceed to change the course of every step in the descent to separation, until all the steps have been retraced, the ladder gone, and all the dreaming of the world undone. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. And maybe see you tomorrow. We have a miracle sessions tomorrow. If you feel like joining, you're welcome to do so. Thank you.